Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of our mini-series of Hunter, The Reckoning, which is a prequel to our Salem by Night vampire story. Last episode, we were missing our poor hunter, Ram, as he was paged away for an emergency. But at the coroner's office, they did get to meet the night clerk and one of the medical examiners who introduced himself as Jonathan Coulson. They tried to get a closer look at the body, and they were foiled in their attempt to leave them alone with said body. And it turns out that they were the subjects of the discipline called Dominate. We popped forward to Wednesday evening where they met up and went back to the club where they got to meet the three owners. Yvette Morrison again, Andrew Givens, her partner, and their silent partner, which is Paolo Antonio Marcucci, which some of their vampire characters have met and interacted with. But they got to see Coulson arrive with a black gentleman, and they were escorted upstairs by Givens. And shortly after midnight, the trio descended, and they saw Coulson talking to the host of the open mic night. AB got to meet again Coulson, and not being able to remember how they knew each other, he definitely felt like they had met before. And Mia was given a business card by Otis King, who explained to her that he was the owner of the Red Eye Lounge, and he also tipped her $50. After the set, Yvette offered Mia a job at the club for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. Offered her $200 a night for 7 p.m. to 2 a.m., which is 26 hours a week, which is not bad money. It's $26 an hour, pretty much. After they left, the two of them discussed having to do something drastic to the club, since both times that AB has reached out with his senses, he has felt an abundance of supernaturals. But we left off with them arriving at the Willamette Bridge and seeing that police had blocked off both sides of the bridge itself, and that there was a helicopter that had a spotlight on what looked like a dangling body. And this is not what we're going to pick up tonight with our handsome boys. Instead, we're going to cut to that Saturday night as you drop off Mia and AB at the coroner's office. Oh, I just saw what's up here, and that sucks.
Oh.
Yeah, two people are named in the wrong place, so let me fix that real quick. Boop. Put that over there.
It's all right. I can be Rom.
No,
I'll be Rom.
No, you don't have to be Rom. You don't have to be Rom. I'll fix it. I fix faced. I'm good at this. It's okay.
It's okay.
I have practice. It's not first rodeo. See? Quick.
I've got a jury rigging perk. Could that help?
I mean, you could. But we see that you got a page from a familiar number, and we find you pulling up to where do you think the Salem retirement castle is located? Is it in Salem proper or in West Salem?
West Salem, on the edges of the suburbs, maybe.
Okay, so it's not far.
They won't have a big plot. No.
Yeah, it's not a far drive for you from where the club is. So you show up, and the evening nurse, Stephen, that you're used to, just kind of has this excited look on his face when he sees you coming through the door. And he just comes up. You ain't gonna believe this, but
yeah, how's it going tonight, Stephen?
Actually, really good. I think it's better if you see it for yourself. and he takes you,
Right.
and you see Dr. Shaw at the door, and he's visibly talking to somebody inside the room. And he turns and he sees you coming down the hall with Steven. He's like, thank you for coming on such short notice. We,
Is he okay?
yeah. And you see, as he steps out of the way, another doctor comes out. He has strawberry blonde hair that's kind of like not wet back, but definitely like moistened and still kind of very neat. Doesn't look like he's been running around too much tonight. Dress shirt, the doctor's jacket, the slacks, and the loafers. And he comes out, and you can see that he has his name tag says Dr. Hunter, and he's got a clipboard and some what looks to be drained blood bags. And he comes out and he's like, "Oh, you must be the son. Pleasure to meet you." And he extends his hand out to you.
I go shake his hand. Yeah, hi, Rom.
Samuel Hunter.
Pleasure.
I was brought your father's case by Dr. Shaw here. I hope you don't mind that if he said that the last round of medication did not take, and I offered an not experimental but untested blood transfusion, and he motions into the room.
How does he look?
He is doing jumping jacks. He sees you and he rushes around the bed and comes over and just gives you a big bear hug and lifts you up off your feet.
Oh, Dad, what? How?
And he just kind of looks down and I don't know. I woke up and I saw Steven and I saw Dr. Shaw, saw Dr. Hunter, and I had all this energy. I needed to get it out.
That's great.
I haven't felt this good in years. And you see him go back over by the bed and he starts doing squats. Look at this. It's not even the creaks.
Well,
There's no popping.
I guess the easy come, easy go. That's some years out, but I mean, doctor, do you have any explanation for any of this?
Dr. Hunter, Dr.
I don't
Shaw.
want to look a gift horse in the mouth because
Yeah, Dr.
this
Shaw
is a
just kind
miracle.
of motions to Dr. Hunter. This was all his idea, and Dr. Hunter kind of, tries to like roll up the blood sacks and put them in a pocket. And he's just like, it's an untested theorem that was posed in Nepal, and the paper denotes that sometimes the medical theorem is pulling from Victorian era medicine and pre-Victorian ideas of humors. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but the idea that blood is saturated with different emotions. So we, at the consent of Dr. Shaw, I performed a blood transfusion today. Came in around 9 in the evening. He was not vegetative, but in a relaxed state. He recognized Stephen. He recognized Dr. Shaw. He did nod when I introduced myself, so there was cognizance, there was recollection. But as you can see, after I came in to check on him, he was a poster child for health and vitality.
This is just amazing. I mean, how long before? How long does he have to stay before coming home then?
I want to keep him here for at least a couple more weeks. We want to see if there is a slow decline back into his state. And so we want to measure if this is a weekly thing, if this is going to be a monthly thing. Like, we want to gauge how often this would have to be administered.
Yeah.
But we also do have some paperwork that Stephen can give you so that you can consent to us going forward with it. He is phenomenal and he is fine, but we also don't know if he's completely lucid right now. So we don't want to take his word for it. We want to make sure that, you know, we give you some time with him. You are the litmus test, as it were. You're the one that's going to give us as best information as we can about him.
No other place I'd want to be, anyways.
Excellent.
That's amazing.
We'll give you some time then, and we'll have Stephen bring you some juice for the both of you. He looks like he's going to need it.
Make sure it's not apple juice.
And Stephen just kind of like, I know. But the three of them leave. They leave you there with your dad. He goes over and he grabs the back of the big visitor's chair that's there, and he just moves it by himself over to a corner and just like, sit down.
I'm sitting.
And he grabs a corner of his bed. This is unbelievable.
It's amazing. It's a miracle. I've been trying for so long now, and shit. Wow. How's it feel?
You see that there's a moment,
I wish I had news, but you know.
and you see him look down, and it's almost like he shakes away something, and he looks back up. You got a job yet?
Hey, you know, I'm bringing in money.
There's a huge shift that you can see. Like he leans back. It's almost like he was in a beach. Like he's got his arms behind his back. He's just very casual. But it's almost like this is the kind of attitude he would have if he was drinking and he was like 5 days without shaving.
Yeah, it's been tricky out here, you know. But you okay there?
Yeah.
You sort of.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm okay. You talk to your mom?
No. You know how she can be. Well, definitely want to hear about this though, because you know that was a lot of what made it hard to talk to her. You know, and she gets in her way.
Yeah, that's a nice way of saying it.
Oh, you raised me right.
And he leans forward, and as he does, his face visibly shifts again back to the excited face that you walked in on. Okay, so who do we tell first? And what do we say?
Medical marvel. I don't know, he said some mumbo about Nepalese blood something.
Yeah, he said something to me, but I didn't pay attention. I was too wired.
Oh
You want to arm wrestle?
no, I'm good, Dad.
Okay.
So at what point do I get a does Rom visibly notice that there's something horribly fucking wrong here?
I don't know if there's something horribly wrong, but there's something very different. I think it's a no roll kind of situation. You've got 6 dice anyway, so even taking half, you get 3 successes. So it's one of those things where you saw the visible shift in body language and even in his tone of voice. Um, it is not something that you think he can hide, but you don't know if this is part of the. I mean, he wasn't like this before, was he?
No, but he's rested for a couple of years now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's just built up some energy. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But
I don't know what I'd do about it either. other than oh no.
um,
Uh,
but yeah, he gets up and you see him just kind of start to clean up the room.
all right, give me a sec, pops. I'm gonna go check with the doctors. Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
see where Steven's with that juice.
Yeah, ooh, I could use it.
Yeah, and I try to track down that.
Oh, the second you come out, you see Steven coming down with a little tray. He looks like he's got juice for a few people on the wing. But he hands you 2
Had you seen
oranges.
that guy? Had you seen that man before? That doctor?
Dr. Hunter?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's part of the night shift. He
because
comes in and comes in about 3 times a week at most. Otherwise, he's just here on Wednesdays and Saturdays, really.
Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Yeah. Those are his set days. He comes in. If they need him, they'll call him on a Monday or Tuesday, but he always floats those. Wednesdays and Saturdays are really.
Huh.
Mhm.
Do you know what he did with that blood? Those blood sacks that he was taking out?
Oh, that was part of the transfusion he did with your dad.
Uh-huh.
So,
But why was he carrying them with him?
oh, to dispose of them, probably.
That's what and I point to my dad who's manhandling the giant red biohazard disposal in the room. Isn't that what that's for?
Yeah, you could throw that away in there. But given how active your dad has become, I think he might have chosen not to keep dangerous substances in the room with him.
The blood's dangerous?
We don't know. The the papers that he based his theory on is wild stuff. I tried to read it, but it's too full of technical jargon for me.
I mean, Steven, you've been here since the first day I brought Dad in.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you remember he would just have episodes. But in between, he was even keel and
Mm-hmm.
This is weird.
It's new.
This is like weird in the other direction.
Well, I don't know yet. He's been really cordial. And I have noticed that there's a bit of coldness to him. He's not as jovial as he was when he first came in. When I first saw him during the days, before I shifted over to night. He's also been out of it for a while. Like, we don't know what that does to a person.
Be easy. Well, who knows how long it'll last, so let me just get back with him.
Here. And he hands you the 2 juices.
Thanks, man.
And you spend the night, at least a couple hours, just kind of chatting. And the back and forth happens one more time. But otherwise, he is in his energetic state. The state that you remember him being in before everything started. But those 2 times, there's just been no trigger that you can think about that set him off. It's just like a switch. And they're never long. They're never long spells. But it's just like a couple sentences and always a question. And then he comes back.
But before I leave, I'm going to ask Steven, he said that he saw that paper.
Hmm?
If he could bring me up a copy of it.
Oh yeah. I'll get a copy to you, and I'll make sure that they have it here for the next time you come by.
All right.
I'll leave it in your dad's mailbox.
Thanks, Steven.
Yeah. And what was the plan for you on Wednesday? Were you gonna meet up with the rest of the cell, or were you?
I would yeah. I mean, I would have reached out, once maybe the next morning or next day,
Mhm.
once I bedraggledly leave the retirement place, not being able to keep myself awake any longer, but leaving Dad, fully wired
Mhm.
still, and just check in and see what they're, how to go at the morgue and whatnot.
Okay. Um. So we'll say that Wednesday afternoon, you all met up, so you could discuss a plan of action. And that's where you got to get a recap from AB and Mia about what happened. What did happen?
I don't
How to go
remember.
at the morgue.
Yeah. And I look at me, I'm like, I barely remember anything. Do you remember anything about us going to the morgue?
No, we went and we were out. Nothing. Yeah, I
Can't make
don't.
it one night.
It's
And you guys just
I-
faff around. What happened,
well.
man?
Look,
Guys,
Rom.
it
Like
was a dead end.
like yeah. It turns out, looks like that. Sounds like that.
I
Although you want to know something, I did have a good night's sleep. I haven't had one of those in a long time.
yeah, I did too. But now that we're recalling this, I do remember seeing her body on the cold table, and then I remember seeing a figure right by
You guys
us.
abducted? What is this?
I can't. Nah, it's. I don't know. My mind. It's almost like it's like a flash bomb. Just fragmented pieces. However, I started feeling this way when we were at Haven, and it just coincidentally was happening while I was talking to Coulson, who said that I have met him already.
Uh,
I
is
don't know
this the
who
kind of
Coulson
thing that
is.
I might be familiar with as a hunter?
I mean,
These creatures fuck with your brain?
anything can.
Because this sounds exactly like, oh yeah, that's weird. We don't remember nothing about that. And, in their perspective, that's the most natural thing in the world.
Mhm.
But somebody who wasn't there being told that from both of them, it's like,
Yeah.
and y'all weren't on drugs, so
No,
this sounds like shenanigans.
no, we weren't on drugs that
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
This
That
sounds
day.
like shenanigans.
Or any day.
Any day? Well, anyway, but
I look at AB like, wow.
so yeah, I mean, it was very strange, that
Yeah.
I started having those fragmented pieces of memory when I met Coulson, who says that I've met him before, but he was at Haven when I thought I first met him. Do I recall if I can remember somebody calling him doctor at some point? Storyteller.
You could try to make an intelligence and awareness check.
Intelligence and awareness. That's not horrible.
Hmm.
Let's see, 5 die.
Monster
Wait, so
at the morgue.
we're meeting with Rom after the morgue or after the whole
After the morgue, but before the events of the club.
All right, 2 10s, 2 5s, and a 1.
Okay.
But that means he wouldn't remember. We haven't had the conversation. He hasn't had the conversation with Coulson then yet at the club.
Yeah, you haven't had a conversation with Coulson yet. That's true.
Right,
Yeah, well
that was
then,
throwing me off.
yeah, well, I mean, my idea is that in the fragmented memories, if maybe I could have heard something then, since I remember. No, then you're right. Then never mind.
Like, oh, you haven't met Coulson again.
Again, yeah.
Yeah. Damn it, Ike. Anyway,
Yeah, no,
back to the
because it was
game.
throwing me off.
Back to
It was
the-
throwing me off because I was like, shit. What happened to the murder on the bridge?
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, it's just wild to me that, and then on top of that, I decided to use my old charm here again, and right in front of me, and right next to Mia as well, was something that was supernatural calling from this, and just so happened to be Coulson, as well as
This would have also been in the club.
yeah, this has also been in the club.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that hasn't happened yet.
oh, my bad.
Yeah.
And oh god, I keep forgetting. My bad.
The events of half of the events of last episode don't count for this meeting.
Yes, I totally forgot. I may or may not have imbibed in some substance before this session, so I apologize in advance.
Okay. I mean, you did use your ability on Saturday at the club, so you could base it off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're suspicious of Haven.
You know what?
Okay, well, the morgue seems like a dead end then, and a dangerous one.
I mean, dangerous? Not even because.
Yeah. This is what they do
I
to
was
you.
very. I was. Wait, what?
No. To be honest, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like we're gonna get any information out of that guy. That you any more information than what we have found. It was just in and out. Nothing really going on over there.
What color were the walls?
Uh, White? I mean, every place
No,
looks
they were.
white.
You
No,
can't.
I think they were gray
I don't
or
know.
blue.
If
No, wait, gray, blue.
This is how they get you. This is how they get you,
Wait,
guys.
who? Wait,
Uh
you
huh.
don't. You don't know. You think? And I look
Mm-hmm.
at AB. You think?
um,
No, no. There was nothing there, Rom. You weren't first. First off, you
Exactly.
weren't there. You weren't there, so you wouldn't know. And nah, I was calm.
Don't worry.
I was
Don't worry.
very
Don't worry.
relaxed.
Don't worry. We can talk perception.
I'm trying to recall again back to that day, back to
I'm gonna try
earlier
to
that day.
Oh
remember.
no,
Yeah,
that's how you get a
yeah.
seizure.
Yeah,
Same here. Same here. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
but I guess we would I would see the same images that I don't know if you would want to depict the same images that I saw that day. No, right? Nothing
I
would
mean,
come to mind.
you remember meeting a clerk. You remember Rom leaving. You remember meeting the clerk,
Mm-hmm.
and you remember being taken back to the room, and then you remember being escorted out.
But I don't remember seeing the body.
You have this feeling that you verified something,
Mm-hmm.
that you know that you accomplished something, uh, as
Yep.
as it comes to the body, but otherwise you don't remember seeing the body.
Look, it's one of those things where I have the unfortunate pleasure of seeing more than one dead body in my lifetime, and as you know, that's what we've come across. And yeah, this is
Yeah, just looked
unfortunately
like any other. Yeah.
just looked like any other.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, if
No
you
worries.
want to
No
try
worries.
to go out there again, we could, but I
No,
really don't
no,
think I
no. I
really wouldn't
definitely don't
consider
want
it.
to go out there. No, no, no. No, that's okay. That's okay.
Well, how did it go for you?
Yeah. Did you
Everything
find
okay?
out anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned my dad to you guys before, and he's been, I don't know, I think there's some horrible shit going down there too now. Maybe I'm just,
Is it
maybe I'm just paranoid.
is his
He's
condition
up and
worse?
dancing. Yeah.
What?
He's
Some doctor gave
dancing.
him some blood transfusion. Said it was something based on discredited occult science.
I want to go ahead and see based off of my. I want to see from my knowledge of occult.
This is since it's by Wednesday,
Yeah, you have the paperwork.
and that's I know I have a pip in occult, and that the whole point was just to see if like, oh, is this any occult that I know?
It's not even a cult. It's more medicine than anything else.
Mm.
The whole paper
But like
reads like a
Galen
medical.
medicine.
Yeah, like the whole paper reads like a medical journal entry, like a one step below a dissertation project.
Okay. Would I be able to look at that dissertation and see if maybe there is a code, something that has been left there that because obviously he wouldn't be the first doctor, quote unquote, to be dealing with this.
You could try rolling a wits and academics.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Can
get.
I also? Can I look into that as well? Like,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
there's anything that stands out, like
Well,
I do got medicine and occult,
It would be intelligence and medicine for you.
intelligence and medicine,
Yep.
intelligence and
yeah,
medicine.
intelligence and medicine. Oh, that's 2 whole die. Very nice.
I
Yeah,
got
you're not
3
getting
dice and 3 successes.
Okay.
a 2, and a 3. That's the
Yeah.
nope.
So what I would be looking for is maybe intelligence occult.
If you
Should I do
want
that?
to try to find something, it would be wits and occult.
Wits occult.
Yeah.
Okay. It's-
Yeah, but AB starts to look through it. Completely medical.
Hmm.
That looks cut and dry. Mia starts to look through it. It's not a terrible theory if you can prove that the humors are something tangible in the bloodstream, which is the kind of linchpin that holds the whole paper together. Is if this, then that. But it's completely scientific, incredibly well written. What did you get, Donald?
10, 7, 6. So
Okay, 3 successes.
3 out of 4. Yeah.
There's nothing occult in the paper. Like, there's nothing that screams, this is
Once he was saying
hoodoo.
Himalayan, whatever, I was
Yeah.
like, well,
There's nothing that
Nepalese.
screams like hoodoo voodoo in the paperwork. The only thing that looks weird to you is there is a coffee stain in one of the corners of the paper that just kind of is a ring, like I want to say it's an eighth of a ring, that just kind of eats up the lowest corner, the right hand corner of the paper, and there's a little drop that is tangentially connected to it. Doesn't look like anything to a normal observer, but you know that this kind of paperwork should be clean and crisp. And this looks like it was photocopied with that on the master sheet.
Uh-huh. Alright. Thanks for looking at this, guys. I won't be able to make it tonight. This is the one night that the doctor's there, but what's the next plan? You're going back to Haven, right?
Yeah, we're heading
For
out
your
to
job?
Haven because Mia's got a job.
I got
Congratulations.
that tryout gig tonight, So there's that. See where that goes.
You gotta keep out of what's his face's way.
The guy with the shirt and the pants.
Yeah, that one. Oh my goodness, what was the fence?
Oh, I didn't talk to him, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Kurt Farrow? No.
I think,
Oh,
maybe?
that's another game.
That guy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, the fence.
Yeah, just keep it. You gotta, I've got to keep
Oh,
away from him too.
we just call
Yeah,
him the
Kurt.
fence.
Kurt.
Kurt. There we go.
Kurt the fence. Kurt the fence Farrow. Yeah. Yeah. It's best that you don't come in. So. Um.
I'll meet
So
it. When's the club close? When are you guys getting out?
It all depends on how good or how bad Mia plays.
How good you mean? All right, there's nothing bad about this over here, right, AB? Let's get that straight first off.
So
All right?
I would say that I don't think we're gonna be there that long. I would probably say after midnight for sure. We'll be on our way out.
Okay. I just got to meet the night shift doctor, so only there Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Copy that.
Yeah.
We'll just
And then I'll
rendezvous.
be right back. I'll just I'll come back and we can see what the next step is.
Yeah,
'Cause
whatever
you've still
information
got
we find. Yeah.
because you got that
No,
weird ping in there, right?
you worry about your pops, all right? That's what you worry about, all right, Ron?
Hey, there's a hunt going. Yeah, everybody's in danger, right?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
either case, you can't come in
Yeah.
because the last thing we need is for you to see the fence, for you
Yeah.
to see Kurt. So take the time that you need. If you
Well, if
think
there
you
was
can,
nothing at the morgue, maybe it's not a problem.
I don't see any issue with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah. I mean, unless you can come up, unless your contacts come up with something else, I say that for the time being, is there any way that we can reach you?
Yeah,
Or is
yeah, yeah. You got my pager number.
yeah. So we'll just page you if anything.
Yeah, and if not, I'll be back here hopefully before midnight
We'll just meet back at the We'll meet back here at the bunker.
or outside Haven.
Yeah. I mean, if
If
you're
y'all
okay with
still there, I'll go
okay, just
keep an eye
just
out.
don't run into Kurt then.
No,
I don't think that's a good idea. I think we should meet out somewhere not in the proximity of Haven. Just
sure.
all
Then
right.
back here.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Because
Just to be safe.
either case I'll be paging you, because it'll be fine. Either case, don't stress it. Obviously, if it's an emergency, we'll page you.
Hunt's on. All right.
Yep.
So now what happened at the club?
Yeah. So now what happened at the club happened at the club with the other two.
Yeah, yeah, my bad.
That's okay.
No, no.
Back at the retirement castle, you show up. There's a different night nurse. Older lady. No nonsense. But she kind of sees you come in. She smiles. That courtesy smile. And then puts the clipboard so you can sign in on the desk.
And how are you tonight?
I'm all right. You know, a lot of talkative patients tonight, your dad included.
Is he still all keyed up like that?
I mean, he's up and about. You know, he's trying to ask us why we don't have a racquetball court, and I had to point out that it's been snowing. It didn't matter what kind of court we had. We weren't gonna let him play.
Well, now it sounds like he's back to where he was. But
That's what it looked like.
let me is Dr. Hunter around?
Yeah. Would you like me to send him to your dad's room?
Yeah, when he's available.
I'll page him. You go into your dad's room and you see him just on the corner of the bed looking up at the television.
How's it going today, Dad?
Oh. Yeah, I mean, counting down the days till I can leave.
Oh, did Dr. Hunter give you a date yet?
No, but I mean, I haven't noticed any decline, so that's got to be good news.
That's how they say, no news, good news. He was gonna come and talk to me about stuff. What's on?
He turns to you, turns off the TV. What is Dr. Hunter going to talk to you about?
Oh, just fill me in on the progress. He was keeping an eye to see how the treatment progressed, right?
Why is he telling you? Not me.
Well, he already told you, right? No?
And then he looks, he's like, oh, TV turned off again. Turns it on. Sit down, take a load off.
Yeah. I sit down next to him, sort of pull over that big guest chair.
It's heavy. And the way that he was moving it around, like he wasn't struggling like you were.
Huh.
You've got a strength of 1 and no athletics. So that might be why, but
Well, I don't think too much of it.
but after about like half an hour, there's a little knock at the door and the door cracks open. May I come in? I was asked to come by if I could.
You need permission?
I'd just like to be cordial is all. He steps into the room. I don't just like to barge into my patients' rooms or patients of doctors that I am assisting in this case. And he comes over, he shakes your hand. Shakes your father's hand. Looking good. Still up and about.
Yeah, he's telling me no change at all. I haven't seen any.
We have not spotted a decline. Some of the nurses have complained that he can be rather curt with them, but that it is not a lasting issue. And so we've tried to keep an eye on him. We engage with him. And we try to see for ourselves if there's anything that creates that trigger for him would be the best word, the operative word. Dr. Shaw nor myself have seen anything, and the daytime doctors, Dr. Harrison and Dr. Fields, haven't seen anything either. Has he done anything in your presence?
Pops, remember just a bit ago when you turned the TV back on? After I came in?
Yeah, I've complained about the TV turning off.
So it's weird, but I saw you turn it off.
What do you mean?
Well, you looked real specific right at that TV and took the control and pushed the button to turn it off and put it down. Oh, the TV turned off. I hope that's not upsetting. I know that.
He turns to the doctor. I don't remember any of that. And you see the doctor pull out a little notepad and a pencil, and he starts to write down. Fascinating. So was there anything that you said to him that might have done this to him?
Well, he got a little upset. Wondering why I need to talk to you.
He makes a note.
Just a little upset, Pops. Not nothing.
Oh, but why would I get upset? I know that your only concern is to make sure that I'm taken care of and that I'm okay. I don't.
Exactly. I know that. And you know that. But it happened.
It's so weird. I don't remember.
Remember that kind of happened at the start of things? You lose little bits of time.
Is that happening again? And he's looking straight at Dr. Hunter. He goes, that's why we are keeping you here, to make sure that you are not relapsing or falling back into the old you. And we're trying to figure out just how often these transfusions will have to be administered. This is not.
There hasn't been a second one, right?
No, we haven't administered a second one. And he does look at you and he's like, I hope you understand that this is not an exact science yet. We don't know hardly enough about the theorems posed in that Nepalese paper to recreate a baseline for him. So we're doing our notice, we're doing our notes, we're taking care of him as best as possible, and every time that a nurse is with him that observes this curt behavior, we've made a note of it and we're tracking it as best as possible. Worst case scenario, I would hate to say that there might have been some damage to the cerebral cortex. Something might have suffered in his state before now, and we're just now starting to observe the ripples of that. But I have hope. I think
That's all we need, right, Pops?
And he nods. I do want you to understand that I don't see your father as a guinea pig or some science experiment. I will always try to help my patients as best as possible, but I understand that sometimes science needs an outside perspective. And it might come from the time that I've spent being a doctor. I've specialized in cases like your father's where damage has happened to the gray matter. He's a special case, and I see a bright future with this treatment.
Yeah, well, thanks so much.
And he smiles at your dad, and he's like, would you like me to get Gertrude to have you bring some orange juice before you go to sleep? And he smiled. He's like, I would like that. Yes, thank you, Dr. Hunter. Of course. Anything for you, young man?
No. Thank you.
He knocks on the door frame. All right. If anything happens, I'll see you on Saturday. So try to not get into any trouble. And your dad kind of smiled. He's like, no promises.
He's a troublemaker, this one.
I've noticed. That's at the top of my notes. But he kind of stands there for a moment, smiles, and then holds up his hand and walks out, closing the door very gently on his way out.
I'll stick around and keep company till bedtime, and then
Mhm. Yeah, and
back
she comes by with some orange juice and actually brings him a little packet of crackers. And he has a moment
how
where
you love those so much, Dad.
he looks at them and he's like, I wish these were Oreos, but beggars can't be choosers, right? And then he looks up at you. He's like,
I'll
"You want
sneak
one?"
some in. No.
And he looks at you. He's like, "What do you mean you're gonna
Perfect.
sneak some in?" I get plenty of crackers.
Oreo.
He goes, "Oh, I can't have that. That's that's a lot of sugary confections. They're monitoring my diet. Something like that might change things drastically. Don't bring any of those."
All right, whatever you say, Pops.
And he eats the crackers. He watches some TV with you. You watch a baseball game. And then the nurse comes by, checks to make sure that there's nothing that needs her attention. She watches, doesn't watch him, but she kind of observes and stands by at the ready as he does his business. And then she comes over and helps him get into bed and doesn't tuck him in, but definitely does kind of like check his pressure, check his temperature. And she makes a note of it on her clipboard. Right. Looks like everything's good here, so you have yourself a good night. And he's like, "Thank you.
Good night, Dad. Oh,
Good night."
get some good sleep. I'll check in tomorrow.
Got a lot of that. And it's about 11 at this point.
I'll head over to the Haven. Just park across the street. Be looking.
Go.
Be on the watch.
And
Sniffing for trouble.
there's a moment where after midnight, you see a couple of well-dressed gentlemen come out, and they stand there talking to the bouncer, one on the inside, one on the outside. And so the bouncer kind of keeps the door open for a little bit. And after a while, they both kind of pat his shoulders and they walk out. And then you see two police cars just shoot by. And although they were
I
racing,
turn on my police scanner.
you could see that they were sheriff's department. The big thing on the police scanner is that they've got a chopper in the air and that they are slowly blocking off the Willamette Bridge. Somebody called in that they saw somebody hanging from the bridge, and they think that there might have been a suicide attempt. So they've got a helicopter, and they're closing off the bridge to make sure that there's nothing to kind of impede the investigation. But you see that chatter goes quiet for a little bit as they just focus on blocking off the west and eastern entrances and exits. And you see Mia and AB kind of come out carrying milk crates, which are
I'll pull up
Mia's
to them in my creepy
Mia's
white van.
records.
The exterminator van.
Yeah, the unmarked free candy van.
Hey, it's not unmarked. It says free candy.
Touche. But as you guys are packing up AB's car, you see Rom pull up on his van.
There's something going on by the bridge.
What do you mean? We heard,
They just
and
shot
I know
by
that
here a few minutes ago. Yeah.
And I know that we heard the helicopter moving over earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that where the chopper is?
I think it's another killing.
I hope not.
I just chucked the rest of the records in. I'm like, let's go. Just...
Mm-hmm.
Whoa!
This was a come on.
Yeah, they just spill out of the milk crate.
Oh.
Cry about it later, Mia. We gotta go. Cry about it
Yeah,
later.
yeah. And I jump in
Hunts
the car.
on.
Who needs this? Who needs this Luther Vandross? And I just start talking.
No,
Teddy
not
Pendergrass, who is
Luther.
he?
Heard it through the grapevine. Yeah, it's actually not bad. I'll put that back in there anyway.
Oh man!
But
do we want to take separate cars? Leave your car here. Come with us, or you want to, or we're like?
Am I screwing with the continuity? Did you guys already go in your car to the bridge?
you did?
No, we did.
But they could have been in your car, and they were just the ones that were talking to bring you up to speed. So it doesn't really change things because they would be the ones driving the conversation.
Yeah, the minor discontinuity.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Very
It's fine.
minor.
Yeah. But you hear them talking about the events of
I've
the
got
club.
the scanner back on, and we're getting nothing important out of it anymore. They were saying there was a suicide, maybe someone hanging from the bridge. We gotta see. They're gonna close it off.
That's wild.
They went pretty quiet after.
We know damn very well there was no suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as we're going, I'm like, by the way,
I don't know. There's mind control around, so
we can't go back to the Haven unless we set it on fire. We'll talk about that. we start giving them the information. Start giving them the information of what happened. Essentially,
set it on fire again.
Yeah. The Haven again?
It just reopened from having burned down like a year ago.
Yeah. Before it opened, it suffered a catastrophic gas leak.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Gas leak.
Oh. I just got hired too, so AB says he's got a.
I know, but are you willing to take money from? I mean, what else can they be? But I can only imagine.
Oh, it's filled with monsters?
Yeah, essentially.
Great.
Yeah, and it's essentially just the long story short, because we're getting to the bridge now. Is anybody the people that own that place are indeed supernatural, including this guy, very odd. Very nice, but very odd man. This guy named Coulson. Could have sworn I've seen him from somewhere, but either case, him along with the owners, essentially the owners of the place.
Which one was Coulson?
He was the dark gentleman that I was talking to before we left.
I thought it was the other one that offered. I thought it was the one that offered me. Oh, that's another thing. I also got offered another job somewhere else.
Well, then we can burn down Haven.
You're talking about Otis. You're talking about Mr. King.
Yeah. He tried to make some joke that he was named, like Martin Luther King, and all that. Like, that's cool, But I did pay attention to Otis, and that reminded me of Otis Redding, but whatever. He didn't want to go there. But he offered me a job, so yeah. But I don't know. I wasn't really paying too much mind to him. I was trying to, make sure I do good on this undercover that we're in, but it doesn't matter anyways, since we're just gonna burn it down.
I mean, look, I'm being.
We got the information we needed.
I'm joking
the place
around.
Needs to be burned down, right?
Doesn't necessarily. I'm not going to be extreme. Do I look like an extremist to you? this time, no. I just want to say we don't have to pull that just yet, but I honestly think that we should not be going back in there into that place haven unless we are comfortable with defending ourselves.
Right.
We don't even know what we're dealing with.
Mm.
Although
Yeah.
I've been telling you, these fuckers like these type of places. It's easy
So
to
what do you
get.
think it could be? Werewolf? Sasquatch? Mothman? Vampire?
Hmm. I
Amir
mean,
just kind
Medical
of
thing?
cringes with the word
we
vampire a little bit.
we've we would have dealt with even if it has been rumors in past hunts of vampire. Is that right?
Yeah,
That's one that we all know is like for
that's
sure.
the yeah
That's a real thing.
that's the big
Big,
like big bad of the city is like you never know who's a vampire.
Yeah.
I've been telling you, they like to run. They like to run these big things and show off and just use people and take advantage of them and like do all sorts of things and just it's not good. And I'm
Yeah, I'm a little worried that that blood that they gave my dad is some sort of vampire bullshit.
Yeah.
Or blood magic.
That also doesn't bode well. What's
Yeah.
just one transfusion to cause that? Uh,
And it came on with no reason, so yeah,
and
science is wild.
did you find anything fruitful in your endeavors today before meeting us?
Uh he uh he slips into these little episodes where it's like Jekyll and Hyde. He'll get all and then snap back.
Hmm.
And
Uh,
that just says monsters to me.
have will
is that
storyteller. So sorry.
Yeah.
Storyteller. I wanted to ask. Would I have run into because usually when it comes with dealing with blood,
Mhm.
that I'm thinking of ghouls, and I'm trying to see if this is something similar, considering that this is a blood transfusion. If it was with Vitae.
You've never heard of it being done that way, but it matches um, the MO of creating a ghoul is to be fed vampire blood.
How much do you know of this Dr. Hunter and this experiment?
Well, he's not Dr. Acula, but other than that, I brought you guys the paper.
Yeah. Does it say where the
He
blood is from?
did
Where the blood comes from exactly?
No,
no, and
no.
he's been kind of fuss about that. You know,
Yeah.
very circumspect. And he took the empty bags of blood with him specifically, instead of just putting them in the garbage. The special
The
red garbage
biohazard
can.
bag. Yeah.
Yeah. And
oh, that's just weird.
I try not to mix work and family, and so I don't know if I'm just doing that because it could just be medicine, and my dad's getting better, and it's a miracle, and it's amazing.
You're coming up the
But
bridge.
We're
I see
gonna have
monsters all the time, and oh fuck, what's going on here?
Yeah, you see that both sides of the bridge have been blocked off. You see that there's a helicopter shining a
cut my
spotlight.
headlights.
If you park down the street, you'll see that the spotlight is hitting a female body. It is dangling from a leg. It's kind of fallen down in such a way that it almost looks like the Fool tarot card.
Mhm.
but you also notice that the rope that is holding her up shines sometimes as the light hits it. So it isn't rope.
The metallic, like it looks metallic.
It looks processed, fabricated.
How far are we away from the bridge?
Maybe a block away.
Okay.
On,
And
on the north side, because that's where the body's dangling from.
how close can we get before police would block us from there?
A block. Like as soon as you get towards the bridge, like they stop you.
Mm.
You can see that they're talking to some people.
Another woman, isn't it, guys?
There's a couple of police officers that have a group of people on either side of the bridge, and you see them asking questions and annotating. There's a lot of back and forth, and there's a lot of writing going on.
As the reporters, I would imagine.
Or getting witness statements.
Hmm. We might need to cause a distraction. See if one or two of us can get closer. So I start walking over to the group there. I'm like, well, golly gee, what has happened here? Trying to just get it into the group of people.
Police officers stop you before you even get to them. Like the police have blocked off the bridge and have created a barricade. The people that are being talked to are, I want to say, like 30 feet on the bridge in either direction.
Okay, then never mind. Then that's not gonna work.
Yeah, that you get up there and the police are just like, "Sir, please." Is a crime
He
scene.
is starting to have a sudden case of deja vu for some strange, odd reason. And she's going to attempt to do it again, although she has forgotten, but she's going to attempt again to do another panic attack. To bring the attention to her from the cops and anybody else there.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Two of the police
Which
officers.
Also, I'm hoping it might jog somebody's memory too, not just mine.
Two out of the 7 cops there.
Yeah, 2 out of the 7 cops come rushing over, throw you to the ground, and hold you down.
What the fuck?
They're like, make sure she doesn't swallow her tongue. Make sure she doesn't swallow her tongue. Like they're going into rapid response. They think you're having an epileptic seizure.
This is not helping.
No, it's not.
It's making it worse.
Nope.
They're putting their hands in your mouth, trying to make sure that you don't. Trying to make sure you don't
I
swallow your tongue.
I interject. I go, it's okay. It's just 1 second. Breathe. Let her breathe, please. Back up. Gotta let my sister breathe, please.
Oh. Well, fuck you guys. And then I kind of shoved them a little bit, like, father.
Are you okay? I go put my hand up. I go, are you okay?
I'm just a bit back, like, oh god.
Yeah.
Just getting nowhere.
I appreciate it, officers. I understand that you had to be a little aggressive. But
we just didn't want her to hurt herself.
No, you hurt me instead. Fuck.
No. I just from the vantage point that we're seeing, we can't see much as far as a face or anything like that. Can we see the clothing, if there's any clothing?
Yeah, you can see that it looks like.
I'll go back to my van and get some binoculars.
Okay.
That's 100%. I'd have binoculars in the van.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow, you could have not thought of that before I got fucking manhandled by a bunch of cops?
I don't. Why
I
did
was
you
I
get a
was
heart
looking through
attack?
the boxes. There's all these vinyls everywhere now.
Yeah.
You know what? This is your first time doing this heart attack, so I really don't know why you're doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because this panic attack is the first time I see it, because I don't remember the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
It felt like, I don't know, something just told
Felt
me
like the
to
perfect
do
solution
it.
to the situation.
Like, I had like a deja vu moment, all right? Like, I don't know.
Okay.
She looks like she's wearing a tight skirt, leggings. Doesn't have any of her shoes. A dress shirt that looks like the top two buttons have been undone, and a vest that's just kind of like dangling like a cape right now. A little couple strands have come undone, but otherwise she has her hair in a bun. And with the binoculars, you do notice that there is some blood on the inside of the collar, but there's no wound.
And you're saying that the dress is being held up by the vest or by a belt, so it doesn't show.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it's
expose the
tucked
back or anything.
into her skirt.
Okay.
Can you see? Is there any way you can see what's like? That doesn't look like rope, Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah, does it look like anything?
Yeah.
Um,
Closer up.
With the binoculars now that you can see a little
with
bit
the
better.
binoculars, it looks like netting, like fish netting.
And does she look like her clothes are damp?
Not from this angle, no. There's no sheen to them. And with the cold now that you're feeling, like there's nothing that looks icy or transparent about her white shirt.
Hmm. The netting, can we see that where the netting is coming from? Is it draped? It's draped over the actual bridge, right?
It looks like it's attached in some way. You can't really see from your angle because it just comes up over the railing and then disappears back underneath it. But it is all the way down. It looks tangled and frayed, and that's why it makes it look like rope.
Mia is gonna pull out her golden cross and start rubbing it, and to sense to use the sense the unnatural edge,
Ooh.
just in case there's somebody out here enjoying their handiwork or something.
Okay, wits and occult, please.
All 7 police officers.
All 7 police officers.
Yeah.
Just ping.
And
It's a clown car full of uniformed ghouls.
Yep.
No, man. At this point, we just got to set everything on fire.
Fuck it. Now we know why Rome burned.
and can I use
Vampires.
desperation? All right. Wouldn't-
Desperation? No, this isn't a direct conflict. And yours is specifically for physical conflict.
It's 1, 2, 3 successes.
3 successes.
Yeah.
Um,
Magic number 3 tonight.
in the vicinity of you, like with the cops and extending out into that little group of witnesses that are closest to you, nothing pings.
Okay.
They're all just doing their job.
Nothing strange over here, boys.
From where we're at, this is
Mhm.
the best view to see the body, correct?
Yes.
From this angle, what would be from the bridge? Is she on? Is she in the middle of the bridge? Is she on closer to
She's
one end?
closer to the West Salem side.
Okay, from West Salem.
Mhm.
We're on the West Salem side, right?
Yep.
Okay. From the West Salem side, I would go ahead and whisper to Dom. Dom. Well, we're not close to the cops, right? We would have stepped away at this
No.
point.
Yeah, you would have gone back to
Yeah,
the van.
yeah. Can you check the radio scan, the police scanner again? See if
Yeah,
maybe they're looking for a vehicle.
yeah. I'll turn it back up. We had it on
You
low just in
yeah.
case picked up.
You overhear that they finally got clearance to pull one of the boats out. That it should be coming up any minute now, so that they can kind of lower the body as best as possible. They are working on not pulling her up because everyone in the chopper believes that there is a very thin strand holding her up as it is. It looks like she should have fallen into the water. And as you hear that, you do hear the sound of the outboard engine boat coming up, kind of echoing in the little valley of the river. And you also notice that it starts to flurry.
Had it been snowing pretty hard before?
No. It hadn't snowed in a couple of days.
So with the overhead chatter the overheard chatter that we have from the radio, we wouldn't have heard of any possible tire marks, anything that.
No,
Nothing.
nothing.
We're not going to know either as far as time of death, or they would need to take a look at the body first
Yep.
before finding that out. What time is it right now?
It's almost one.
Yeah, so this was fairly recent. Couldn't have been more than a few hours ago, at least. That body was there. There's no way that body would have stayed there a whole day without anybody not noted without seeing it. So
No, this is gonna be one of those at the stroke of midnight. Cast the body, whatever.
mm,
The mumbo.
yeah.
Shit sucks, guys.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
we're not getting any closer. I'm here we're fucking around, me DJing at this fucking supernatural infested place. Meanwhile, we got this body.
yeah, that's
Like,
most likely the fourth out of the five that we know are going to be needed for this. What looks to be the summoning. So,
You see a couple being let go by the police officers, and they start coming up your direction.
hi there. So sorry. We heard the commotion, and obviously everything going on here. Are you guys okay?
Yeah, we're fine. It's just my wife's a little shaken, but yeah, we're okay now.
Was there anything like? I can only imagine, considering the sight
Yeah,
of what we're seeing here.
yeah. We saw her from as we were coming up to the bridge. We're gonna go home, and we pulled up trying to see what it was, and the second we saw it was, a body, we came back to the payphone, and they point to a payphone down the street. We called the police. Somebody else must have seen her though, because by the time that we hung up, there was already police officers here.
Also, the police officers arrived the moment you got on the phone.
Just about, maybe like a minute or two later.
what time was that?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to my watch.
Yeah, you probably can't remember stuff like that to give to the cops anyway.
No.
Did you, by any chance, see any other vehicle while you guys were here?
I mean, there are other vehicles coming and going from the bridge. Yeah.
Just strange. Was this the only? Was this couple the only group that was talking to the cops as far as a statement, or you said there was
No,
more people?
there's more people, but this is the first two that they let go.
Hmm.
And they're like, "You boys have a good night," and they keep walking to their car.
Yeah, you have a great night. And when I look at them, I see that his wife is visibly shaken.
Yeah. Like she doesn't even talk to you guys.
Damn. Well, I feel like we need to bring this. I feel like we need to get back to HQ and bring this up ASAP if she doesn't already know.
Yeah, get this to Penelope. Persephone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get anything from the police here.
Yeah.
We could try to follow them when they take the body. Not sure how much good that'll do.
Well, we are in a free candy van, so we might be able to, if you think that's wise.
When has the hunt ever been wise?
Sure. Let's. You know what? I don't mind the stakeout then for a little bit. How long do you? Yeah. I mean, how long do you suppose this is gonna take for them to finish this up? Because if it's gonna take longer than an hour, I'm gonna have to start eating Mia's rashes from inside this van.
I think we can go get some fries down the street and come back, and this will still be going.
Yeah.
That boat's putting under, and the bodies ended up in the. They were all in the west morgue, right? Pretty sure it's gonna be coming back this way.
Well, if it's gonna, I mean, we can either wait it here to confirm where they're going, or we can just wait until they arrive over at the West Salem morgue.
Yeah. The thing would be if they go somewhere before they go to the morgue.
True. Yeah, Mia. Unless you have any objection, I'm ready to wait here.
We can see maybe somebody else passing back by. Might have a little, maybe have seen a sliver of something. Some keyword, some little thing that they don't even know. Can fast talk them, slip them a few bills, say we're reporters.
I'm good with that.
Everybody give me a wits and awareness roll.
You fail to realize you are already dead. Oh, that's a lot of dice.
Yeah. You guys have good dice pools for that.
4 successes.
Okay.
Lost one.
Yeah. 2 8s, a 10, and a 6. Rest is below 4.
Yeah,
So
4
that's
successes.
4 successes.
An 8, but 2 1s.
That's fine.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything in this. Yeah.
Yeah, it only means something if you're using desperation dice. All three of you, not Rom. One wasn't enough. Like
You made a great plan.
Yeah, he's so involved in the binoculars and the police scanner, kind of making a note too by a camera. You're too involved in this aspect of the hunt. Mia and AB both notice that the car that the couple got into started and turned their lights on once they got up into their car, maybe like 3 or 4 cars down. They haven't left.
I still got the revolver in my back and tucked in my back pocket and behind, my back.
Yeah.
Under the belt. I don't think the couple has left yet. It's been a little bit of time.
Yeah.
I go and reach for my gun as well, my 9mm.
All right. Dom, I need you to. We're gonna walk over to that car real quick. Just cover us for me, please.
I'm gonna get in the van
Mhm.
and work to do a little 3-point and be positioned to pull up a little bit further, but be positioned to just gun it and cut them off if they try to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I start walking up, like casually walking up until I get within distance. You're saying that it's a flurry, so it's still snowing, right?
Yeah, and the car was fogged up from before anyway. You can't really see what's happening inside.
Yeah.
And even as you come up on the driver's side, well, what side are you coming up on, rather?
Well, it all depends. Whatever's the closest side. So I would imagine it would be either the. You tell me if they drove.
Are you on the river side or are you on the street side?
On the river side, then. Yeah.
That would be the driver's side.
I'm going through the passenger.
Yeah. You both kind of skulk up, and the car's empty.
Footprints? Can I see anything?
You see footprints at the door and going into the car. And you see footprints coming out, but you're not sure which ones were there first.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, the car's running, lights are on, but the heater hasn't been turned on. Seats are empty.
I look to see if there's anything suspicious in the car. Maybe a struggle, maybe some blood, maybe anything.
Make a wits and investigation.
I also want to see while Mia's doing that. I want to see if I can actually the footprints coming out. Yeah, I know with the flurry and everything.
Mhm.
I just want to see if there's an actual trail, possibly, or a dragging, something that someone's being dragged, anything leading out from the car.
It looks like it leads to the street, and then it disappears because there's no snow on the street. 3 successes.
Yeah.
No struggle. The car is still unlocked, actually. You can see that the purse the woman had is still in the little hole between the two front seats.
I go through her purse, and specifically to look for her license, her ID.
She doesn't have one.
Look, when we look into the vehicle, does it look like 2 people were sitting in that car?
No.
Looks like only one, right?
No, none.
No, what I mean is, could you tell by looking at the car that 2 people drove in that car recently, or if it was just one person?
No, it doesn't look like anybody has driven the car recently. There's no imprint.
Yeah, the car's on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I open the trunk.
You would have to take out the key from the ignition.
Not if we get a crowbar from the windowless van.
Just great force your way in there.
No. We'll make this. We got to make this easier. Yeah, we'll turn off the car, pop the vent, and pop the trunk.
Okay.
After a bit of seeing you guys not find anything, I'd wander out of the van a little bit, pick up a big flash, one of the big mag lights out or something.
Okay. Yeah, as
guys, have we looked up? Are there any buildings along here, like tall trees?
there are a couple of
The
three-story
big thing
buildings.
was there's like flapping of leathery wings and a creature taking people like up from, if the footprints are ending in a thing.
Well,
we
wouldn't be able to see any evidence of that.
Well, it could be right there.
Well, a storyteller. Is there any remnants when we look up when he says that?
When he says that, and you actually look up, you do see that on the roof of one of the buildings, the husband looks like he's trying to crawl up over the lip, and he's pulled back.
Okay, I pull up my gun.
Can you shine the light, please, on there? Shine the light in that area. See how far it goes.
Is there a trail of blood leading up the side of the building?
Yeah, maybe that, one of those things. One of those,
Now, if you go to the alley between the two buildings, you will see that there is the two footprints lead from the car into the alley. But there's another set of footprints that they come up to and stop. And the footprint looks like something out of Frankenstein. Like the foot looks like an exaggerated human foot, unshoed, maybe a size 16 or 18.
No. And that size shoe print is by what? By within the alleyway?
Yeah. It's not even a shoe print. It's a footprint.
Yeah, an actual footprint. And with that footprint, it's leading into the alley?
No, it's just the couple's footprints go into the alley and stop in front of the big feet.
Is there a ladder that leads up to the top?
No, there isn't.
To the side of the building?
There's sign of any marking or something along that.
You shine the flashlight and you see that there are holes. There are four holes alternating like a ladder.
Rom, you got a grappling hook in that windowless van?
Sure do.
I was joking. I was joking.
Never joke about a grappling hook.
Yeah,
it's essential.
What don't you have?
This is the whole point of having the van.
Oh.
I go back and get a grappling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, considering the year that we're in, I imagine this is just a swing and a throw grappling hook.
Correct. But it's still a grappling hook.
Yeah.
To grapple up the side of a building.
Correct.
Who's gonna want to throw this grappling hook? It's gonna be a strength and athletics check.
Considering that I am the strongest out of the three, I would imagine, because I have a 5 dice pool, I should probably do it.
What is it going to be? Strength and athletics?
Strength and athletics.
Oh, I got a 4. I'm not that far off you.
I mean, Rom's going to go first, because his grappling hook. He's like, don't worry, I've done this before.
Yep.
Go ahead, take your time.
I roll my 1 die.
Do it.
Go ahead and take your time.
$10, he's not going to do it.
Oh, that's 7.
7? You swing it, and you let go. And it just hits the fire escape and then clampers back down.
All right. And then that's it. He's like, let me just step aside.
Yeah, let me, that's what I'm here for.
All right. Hey, I'm here to bring the grappling hook.
Yeah, exactly. You procure, I apply. That is 3 successes, 2 9s, a 6, and a 2 and a 1. So
Yeah.
Make it look easy.
You make it look easy. Yeah. You fucking spin it and you let it go, and it goes flying up, and for a moment it looks like it's about to hit the top of the wall, but it just skirts it and lands, and you feel that clank and tug. It is secure.
but that's not it. But what to the fire escape? It's not attached to the ladder that would be on the fire escape that normally
No,
would
it's
come down.
attached to the roof.
Oh, to the roof itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're that good.
Yeah.
All right. I start climbing,
That's-
and I'll use and
I got
oh,
it nicely knotted up.
if endurance would be something that would apply to this, because I do
You're
have that as
you're fine.
my special.
The only one that I would need to roll is Rom.
Is there any way that I can
Once you're
assist
up there,
Rom
let
in
down,
any
you can let
addition?
down the ladder.
Yeah.
That's true. I'll go up there just so I can I can detach the ladder so it can fall down.
Okay. You guys make your way up there, and you notice that the
3
two
hours later.
you notice that the couple is lying there. Their eyes are soulless, kind of almost rolled back in their heads, and you see this well-dressed man kind of standing there, and just wiping blood off of his mouth. And he sees the three of you come up, and he points at you.
I fire. I'm not thinking
Bam, 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 bam,
twice.
bam, bam, bam.
This is threat assessment, and this is a threat.
Wasted.
I fired. I'm gonna fire too.
Okay.
In the
Roll.
words of Mysterio, what is it? Mysterio? No, never mind. In the words of Jake Gyllenhaal, this is a Avenger level threat. We need to immediately just fire.
Yeah. Make a composure and firearms roll.
Composure, firearms.
Firearms.
No, that's not bad. That's not bad. Would I be using my drive in this case? Sorry.
Your creed?
Yeah, well, would this be
It
using
would
the
be.
desperation?
It
dice?
would. You could desperate. You could use your desperation for this.
Yep,
Me
I
too,
will do
right?
that.
Yeah. This is finally a
Yeah.
physical conflict.
So
So
that's
how does that work?
You
How does
two
that
would both add 2 dice to your
Mhm.
pools, and let me
Okay.
know. Let me know what they roll before anything else.
copy.
Ooh.
Okay.
The desperation dice is a 6 and a 4,
Okay.
and then everything else is 2 8s, a 7, and a 9. So that's 5 successes.
5 successes.
Those 2 dice.
Yeah.
I got a 7 and a 2,
Okay.
Woo, not a 1. Thank you.
and then
Thank Jesus.
my other dice is a 9, a 10, a 6, and another 10.
Damn.
Oh, so you crit.
I mean, this is my creed.
Yeah. So these are, I would imagine they're like 9mm equivalent. So that's
Well, I will be using the revolver because that's the only one that I would be carrying.
would that be like a 357 Magnum? Like, is that a fucking hand cannon?
No, I don't think I'm walking around with a hand cannon.
Okay.
Would it be a 38 special? I won't think it would be a 38 special. I mean, a Smith and Wesson type of gun.
Yeah. So it'll be a medium gunshot.
Yeah.
Okay.
My shotgun's in the van. I just got the pistol right now.
So how many successes did you get, Kenny?
I got 5 out of 6.
5. That means you did 8. Um. Okay. I just use a die for his health. Okay. And how many did you get, Ike?
I got I got 4 successes. 5. One of them was my desperation that I got the success, and then I got the 2 10s. I crit.
Okay. So that is 5, yeah, because it's 4 for the crit and then 1 more. That's 5. So that's also okay.
Yeah, it doesn't the crit count as more though?
Yeah, it counts as 2 extra. That's why you said 2 10s and the success.
Yeah, it was the 2 10s. I had 4 successes in total with my regular dice pool, and then 1 success from the 2 desperation. That's what I'm saying. So
yeah, so that's more. That'd be 5, 6, 7. Okay, that makes math a little bit harder for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All of a
it's
sudden,
harder for you.
all of a sudden, this is not cosmetic damage. All of a sudden,
it is. No, I mean it's still superficial for him.
yeah. But how much superficial can he take before it becomes at least I want it to be 1 aggravated, just 1.
No,
he's
not,
gonna be aggravated.
Yeah, not with fortitude.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. Oops.
Yeah.
Oops.
He just chopped off.
I don't even know who we're dealing with. I just shot at this point.
Yeah. And you see the 2 gunshots go off, and immediately the helicopter turns its spotlight in the direction of the gun, and you see that his shadow extends out from him towards the 3 of you. It is not a human shadow. You can see that there are large, like wings that extend out from him, and he looks much more massive than the shape that he's taken, or the shape that he's showing, rather. And as he drops down a la Wolverine and digs his claws into the ground, you see the facade drop, and there is this granite-looking shape of a living gargoyle, almost like Goliath from the Disney cartoon. And he pulls himself and comes shooting forward like a torpedo. And this is what we're going to call it for tonight.
Son of a bitch.
Damn you.
So thank you guys for participating in this 3rd episode of our mini series. One more to go.
It'll be a short one.
It might be a short one. It might just be a short one.
Though, hopefully that helicopter picks up on all that gunfire.
Yeah. But as always, I want to thank the 3 of you. I want to thank our audience for participating with us as well. Let me give you guys a chance to plug whatever you're doing. We'll start with Rom. Donald, what are you doing and where can you be found on the internet if you want to be found?
Nothing. I got nothing to plug this time.
Okay.
But you tune back into this thing.
Yeah.
Whatever McStabbery stuff.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. You're gonna tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, I'll tell you when it gets to my turn. Mia, Ike, what are you doing and where can you be found if you want to be found on the internet?
Same time, same channel next Tuesday.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
And AB, Kenny, what are you up to? Where can you be found on the internet if you want to be found?
Well, when AB is not shitting his pants from being literally lunged at by a gargoyle.
Yeah.
You can find me on social media on Mr. Underscore with the underscore in between each word. I want to say, I didn't say it last episode, but I want to say it this episode.
Mhm.
I appreciate the storyteller for bringing in what could only be described as another universe artistic vibes. So I appreciate that.
Did you tell Q and these people?
Yeah. It was like, they used a different letter. It was, it was in a vampire bar. It was like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Did they approve, or am I going to be getting
No, you're good.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Am I going to be making amends?
Also, you can find me on TikTok under oh my god, I'm losing it today. Critter Die, Bears Love Gaming, and special shout out, as I did last week, to my parents that for whatever reason they just messaged me that they are watching the show.
Nice. Always appreciate them.
Yep,
They're the best.
they're the Bears. But yeah, other than that, you'll see me here on this channel, whether
Right.
as AB or whether as something else.
Yeah. So I'm excited for this 4th episode next week. As always, you can catch us here. We're going to be doing a couple more mini-series when the new year comes around, as I'm still getting the hang of being healthy. I think some people might want to be interested in making time for the first one, which is going to be in January. We're going to do a first edition Scion game. And I'm eyeballing Thursdays for that. So keep your ears open. Keep your eyes open. If anything, you can also catch me on McStabber Studios tomorrow for our final episode of this season of Demon. Last episode, we got some combat, and I got to see just how overpowered a demon can be, especially one built for combat. And if not, you can catch me next Friday after our last episode airs, as I participate in their Queen's Gambit final mage episode as their ST, and I'll be back on the 27th as well for the final episode of Queen's Gambit, where we get to determine whether or not we all succeeded. So far, the vampires barely succeeded, the werewolves succeeded, and the Wraiths count as having succeeded. But I think it was a very harrowing ordeal, pun intended. We have Changeling this Friday, so I'm hoping, as an ST would, that nobody dies. But I hope somebody dies, so I don't feel bad when I kill some of my players. But otherwise, thank you guys again. I hope you're having a good time with this story. One last episode to go, and we can see whether or not this is the end of the hunt, or if this is just the first domino that topples over. As always, we take mental health on the channel very seriously, so if you find yourselves struggling, please know that there are resources out there for you. It is okay to not be okay. And taking that first step is the most terrifying, but just know that if you're watching live or if you're watching on YouTube, there are going to be phone numbers in the Twitch chat or in the YouTube description box. And if you're not in the United States, or you don't do well with phone calls or text messages, you can go to findahelpline.com. That link will be in the description box, as well as going up in the Twitch chat right now. So just know that there are resources out there. There are people that want to help you, and that it is okay to not be okay, regardless of what society tells you. A lot of us wear masks and we get by, and so just know that there are people out there that want to help you not drop the mask, but start to acclimate yourself back to society. And taking that first step is going to be the most terrifying, but I assure you, we will all be here on the other side, rooting for you. So please take care of yourselves. We will see you next week. I hope you guys survive. But, if you don't, you don't. Them's the breaks when you're human in World of Darkness.
I mean, if at least one of us survives, let's hope. That's what I'm shooting for.
Those are good odds. But as always, take care of yourselves. Bye.